You just threw away $2,000 into a parking meter, a vending machine, a laundromat, and you didn't even notice because it looked like 10 cents. This is the Roosevelt dime, the smallest coin in your pocket, and the most dangerous secret in American currency. April 12th, 1945. President Franklin D. Roosevelt collapses, dead at 63. The nation mourns. Children cry in the streets. Soldiers weep in foxholes overseas. He led America through the Great Depression, through World War II. He gave hope when there was none, and exactly 1 year later. The U.S. Mint makes a decision. They're going to put his face on a coin, not a dollar, not a quarter, a dime, the smallest, the humblest, because Roosevelt founded the March of Dimes, a charity fighting polio. It was perfect. It was poetic. But here's the shocking part. Some of these dimes are now worth more than a month's rent. And most people use them to buy gum. Listen very carefully, because this is where things get dangerous. From 1946 to 1964, every Roosevelt dime was made of the 90% silver. Real, precious, metal. But in 1965, the government panicked. They were running out of silver, so they made a switch, quietly, without warning. They started making dimes out of cheap metal. Copper core, nickel coating, no silver at all. These are called clad dimes, and they're worth exactly 10 cents. But the silver ones, even in poor condition, they're worth $2 to $3 just for the metal. In perfect condition, some are worth thousands. And this is why collectors panic, because millions of these silver dimes are still in circulation, sitting in jars, hiding in couch cushions, being spent every single day without anyone knowing. Now here's where it gets darker. Not all Roosevelt dimes are created equal. You see that tiny letter on the back of your dime? Right next to Roosevelt's neck on the front? That's a mint mark. It tells you where the coin was made. No mark. Philadelphia. D. Denver. So. San Francisco. Most people never notice it. But that little letter, it can turn 10 cents into 10,000. Oh, let me show you. 1949 S. Only 13.5 million made. Sounds like a lot? It's not. In high grade, this dime is worth $200 to $500. In perfect condition, over 10,000 out. 1955. No mint mark. Philadelphia. Low mintage year. Collectors hunt these like treasure, worth $50 to $300 depending on condition. But here's what most people don't know. Errors exist, and they change everything. 1982 No P dime. This is the most famous error in Roosevelt dime history. In 1982, the Philadelphia Mint forgot to add the P mint mark for the first time ever. A mistake. And now, these no P dimes are worth $50 to $300. Some have sold for over $400. But here's the terrifying part. People still find them. In rolls of dimes from the bank, in old coin jars, in change from the grocery store. Double dies, where the design was stamped twice, creating a ghostly doubling, worth $100 to $500, depending on clarity. Off-center strikes. Where the coin wasn't aligned properly during minting, dramatic off-centers can be worth $200. Wrong planchets. Dimes accidentally struck on penny or quarter blanks. These are museum-level rarities, worth $5,000 to $20,000. And the worst part? Most people think these are just damaged coins, so they spend them or throw them away. Right now, somewhere in America, someone just bought a coffee with a 1949 S dime worth $300. Someone just put a 1982 No P error into a tip jar. Someone just fed a 90% silver dime into a coin-counting machine, and it's gone. Forever. Because here's the truth that haunts every coin collector. The average person has no idea. They see a dime. They see 10 cents. They move on. But you're different now. You know the code. You know the years. You know what to look for. And that knowledge is worth more than the coins themselves. Let me make this deadly simple. Step 1. Check the date. If it's out 1964 or earlier, it's silver. Don't spend it. The silver alone is worth more than 10 cents. Step 2. Look for the mint mark, that tiny letter near Roosevelt's neck. Z-D or nothing. Certain combinations are rare. Step 3. Inspect for errors. Look at the text, the torch, the details. Does anything look doubled, off-center, weird? If yes, stop. Get it checked by a professional, because what looks like a messed-up dime to you could be a $500 error to a collector. Now here's something most people miss. It's not just the old dimes that matter. These are special versions made for collectors. Mirror-like finish, sharp details. Made in San Francisco with an S mint mark. From 1968 onward, proof Roosevelt dimes were sold in sets, but some escaped. Some ended up in circulation. And these modern proof dimes can be worth $5 to $50, depending on the year and condition. Most people don't even recognize them. They just see a shiny dime and spend it. But here's the most dangerous trap of all. Silver Roosevelt dimes look almost identical to clad ones. Same size, same design, same weight. Almost. The only way to know for sure? Silver dimes have a solid silver edge. Clad dimes have a copper stripe running through the middle. One tiny detail, one glance, and you'll know if you're holding 10 cents or $10. Here's what keeps me up at night. Every single day, someone throws away a fortune. Not because they're careless, but because they don't know. They were never taught. Nobody ever told them. So they spend silver dimes like regular dimes. They toss error coins into the trash. They ignore mint marks and dates. And the collectors, they wait. They search. They know that somewhere out there, in your pocket, in your car, in that jar by your bedside table, there's a Roosevelt dime worth hundreds, maybe thousands, just waiting. Franklin D. Roosevelt saved America once. Through the Depression, through war, through impossible darkness, and now, decades later. His face on a tiny silver coin might save your wallet. So before you spend another dime, before you pour your change into a machine, stop, look at the date, check the edge, find the mint mark, because the next dime in your hand, it might not be worth 10 cents, it might be worth $50 or $500 or $5,000. And the only thing standing between you and that money is whether you choose to look. The smallest coin. The biggest secret. The hunt starts now.